and you're not taking my baby away, what would you say to them?
Keep your baby. I'm not here to fight nobody. You understand? If you want, I ain't here to fight nobody, brother. One thing about me, I will not be convincing anybody to send their child to my school. If you come willingly or not at all.
Yeah. Now, what is your end game with being here today for Free the Water, Free the Land?
To raise the consciousness, to motivate black people in Jackson to come together and understand that this only happened because we allowed it to. I don't like the fact that a lot of black people like to deify racism. And what I mean by deify racism is you get black people say the reason why they was able to keep that crap capital district is because God basically gave them the power to do it over us. In other words, we don't like to look at the role we play in the oppression we suffer from. And there's too much deification of oppression. It begins with the black church, obviously, right? And I'm not against the church because I'm a descendant of AME pastors, right? But the situation is we approach our political problems the same way we approach our religious problems. Everything is viewed through a Christian lens, a Muslim lens, a Jehovah's Witness lens. You can't do that. Why? Because the Bible is not a political manual. It's a religious one. The Quran is not a political manual. It's a religious one. Nothing's wrong with it. But you don't go to those books to solve problems created by racism, because racism didn't exist the way it does now in the times of Muhammad ibn Abdullah and Jesus ben Joseph. So we got to solve these problems using the best Bible of all, and that's the human intelligence of our active minds, you see. So when we start looking at political problems from a religious lens, we start scapegoating God for our lack of responsibility. Let me say that again. One of the biggest psychological problems in black America, we love to scapegoat God for our lack of responsibility. God must have done that. Let's pray harder. I pray every day. I'm a praying person. I also understand that the God I serve does not work for me. God works through me. And if I don't work for myself, God will never help me. And the problem with black people is we have a learned self-helplessness mindset that makes us think we can't do nothing until God works first. God is the power that works through you. God don't work for you.
There you go. There you go. That's right. What do you want to say on this platform to the African American race as a whole?
The African race. African American branch of the African race.
The African race. Okay.
What we are going through is of our own doing. We can reverse it if we make up our minds to do it. But you will never do this unless you become economically disciplined. That's our Achilles heel. Black America is the only undisciplined ethnicity in the entire country. We have never, in the post-Dr. King era, weaponized our money for our benefit. Whenever we talk political problems for black people, we will talk voting all day long, but we never talk about organizing our money. Why we can talk all day about voting, but we can never talk about using our money to leverage our political power? Because the average Negro, be he a billionaire or a broke man, isn't interested in committing his money to the liberation of black people. We are financially selfish, and we're suffering politically because of it.
Now, do you think that's an incurable disease?
Nothing is incurable. Nothing is incurable. All right. But here's the question. Are black people willing to undergo the sacrificial pain necessary to go from degradation to salvation? That's the question. How much are you willing to suffer? You might be willing to lose your job. You might be willing to lose your house. You might be willing to lose your life. J Money ain't willing to lose anything. Do you follow where I'm coming from? So when we come to the table, we have to stop assuming everybody is willing to sacrifice it all. Find out what people are willing to sacrifice. If this brother says, listen, Doc, I got a family, and I know the race is more important than my unit, but I just can't stomach my family losing a roof over our heads by fighting for Black Jackson. Thank you for being honest, brother. So I know there's certain meetings I'm never inviting you to. There's certain pieces of information you never get because you just told me you will flip. You will flip if the power structure threatens your mortgage. You see? But it's okay because he was honest. I know how to use them. The problem with us, we're not honest. We'll walk into the room acting like I'm willing to die when your ass ain't even willing to pay $5 for freedom. You see what I'm saying? So if we know where everybody is, we can plug them in as we need it. You think all white folks is committed to the same level? They all committed to white supremacy, but they all have different levels of commitment. Some are willing to die for white supremacy, others not so much. But because they're honest with each other, they can plug them in where they go. We got to know people's level of loyalty. You see what I'm saying? Your application for the community organization plan, put a scale on there, 1 to 10. How much are you willing to live, to die, to go to jail for this? 1, circle. 2, no answer is wrong. Tell them no answer is wrong. We just got to know how we can use you. You got some black millionaires in Mississippi, right? They want to help, but they're not willing to lose their comfortable life. No problem. You never come into an inner council meeting, but I need you to do this over here. I need you to finance this over here. Even without black celebrities, what are you willing to do? You follow me? I hope it's more than just finance documentaries on people murdered by police, because that's all the hell they've been doing. Every time somebody get murdered, they finance a documentary. Can somebody please explain to me how much police brutality has slowed down because of documentaries over killed blacks? It's not. Power responds to what? Power. It don't respond to documentaries. It don't respond to votes. It don't respond to marches. It responds to power. Get some.
We appreciate it, man.
I wanted you to let everybody know how important it is for people to support black and for the black dollar to circulate in the black community.
Show me a politically devastated people. I'll show you an economically devastated people. Show me an economically strong people. I'll show you a politically strong people. Your economic situation and your political crisis, they go hand in hand. They the top and the bottom. They the yin and the yang. And unfortunately for us, because we're not economically disciplined enough to use our money to benefit our liberation, we never talk economics. Think about all the conversations you've seen on TV. The revolt summits, CNBC reports, black church gatherings. We always talk about we need to vote. You hear about voting 99% of the conversation. You never hear about we need to invest our disposable income into creating our own institutions. For example, we love to celebrate Black Wall Street, don't we? Tulsa, Oklahoma, 101 years ago, bombed to the ground, right? We used to celebrate Wilmington, North Carolina. There's a documentary out on the Black Wall Street in Wilmington. Rosewood, Florida. Charleston, South Carolina. You have Black Wall Streets all over the country. But check it out. Here's the hypocrisy of black people. Why we keep on worshiping and praising these Black Wall Streets of a century ago, when we have failed to create one in this century? Do you realize there's not a black city in this country? We're 50 million across 50 states. 50 million across 50 states. You can show me a single city where we own independently, not white finance or government grants, independently, black school to educate the people, black hospital to save the people, black supermarket to feed the people, black bank to invest in the people. How is it possible? We are a $2 trillion people, the richest Africans in the world. We are the 10th most powerful economy on earth. Black America alone. You ain't got a single Black Wall Street to call yours.
Wow.
Chinese can come 5 years, they got one. Arabs can come 5 years, they got one. Why you ain't got one? It ain't exclusively due to racism. It's due to the economic selfishness of black people. We are not yet ready to put our money where our mouth is.
All right, man. We definitely appreciate you.
As I said, I'm related to Frederick Douglass. I'm a kin, not a descendant. His first cousin is my 4 times great grandfather. My 4 times great grandfather, Stephen Henry Bailey, his mother, my 5 times great grandmother, young Betsy, Frederick Douglass's aunt. She was sold into slavery from Maryland to Mississippi. My grandfather Stephen never heard from her again. Right? So she's buried somewhere. So for me, Mississippi is personal. And she's one of the few ancestors who was sent from Maryland to Mississippi while she was still a youth. And we never heard from her again. So she's buried somewhere in this soil.
Well, you'll find it.
I want all your listeners, make sure you donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
Do that,
Tax exempt. It's tax exempt. Hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. $FDMG School. Hit your PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. If you want to send a check or money order, make it out to FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634 Wilmington, Delaware. 9634 Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Black parents who have issues with your children, if you need expert consultation from an expert school psychologist, you can reach me by email, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. You can reach me by website, drumarjohnson.com, or you can reach me by cell phone. Text message only. Do not call me because I don't answer numbers I don't recognize. Text message only. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. And also, I want to say this. If you want to work at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, send me your resume. We are an independent school. Don't worry about being certified because private schools have a separate certification process. Send your resume to fdmgresumes@gmail.com. fdmgresumes@gmail.com. We need math and science and language and social studies, but we also need sisters who could do natural hair to teach our girls. We need men who know gun training, African martial arts, how to build websites, do documentaries, how to go hunting, how to go fishing. We're going to make our boys into men, the black men that black women need so we can shut down the snow bunny crisis. Today, 3 o'clock, Jackson, Mississippi, King Kong consciousness is in the building.